This video is brought to you in part by TruTech Tools, quality tools, essential support. All right, guys, we are back here at the egg farm, and one of our guys was out here doing some other things, and he's seen some oil on compressor. He's seen that one of the Schrader cores was definitely leaking, so let's go find out. It was chiller number 2. We have a suction leak on the, potentially on the compressor, and we definitely have a discharge leak on the Schrader core. But right here on number 2. It's pretty bad when you walk up and you start picking up stuff. Son of a gun, look at that. Look at that. That's the Inficon promise. Heck yeah. That's right there, obviously. That's what's awesome about it. See, now watch this. Well, that was me going slow, just to be slow about it. But watch this. We're just going to come up against it. Ready? Drag across it. Look at that. Can your detector do that? Watch this one more time. Drag across it. I missed my spot. Drag right across it. So you're going to get a hit like that, and you know it's real. And that is a tiny, tiny leak. I mean, you figure this monitor goes up to 10,000, and we're only, you know, that was 52. Now, he said this Schrader core right here was leaking for sure. Correct on that. So what our plan here is to valve off the discharge and just repair the compressor itself. But we're gonna make sure there's no other ones here. What's bad is I just repaired some on the up here. This is the one where I had done a bunch of leaks in here, and I got them all. And I had some over here. I've got a plan here. You would think they would have put a suction stop on that thing. It'd have been smart. They didn't. Nope, I don't think they did. Nope, they didn't. That suction there looked like it leaked at one point. But surprisingly, it's okay there. Really surprising. What's interesting is that compressor was replaced. See that coupling right there? So that is a resolder joint. That's why these have like a paint to keep it from corroding. And that one don't. It needs repaired. I'm gonna try to pump this down as far as I can. Obviously can't go too low with it being a scroll style compressor. It's gonna fight you on it and unload on itself. But I wanna make sure we got it as far as we can get it. That way there's less to have to recover. So it's got an EXV that's already shuts itself down. We're gonna go ahead and hook up the suction side here on this and kind of get an eyeball at, see how it looks. Okay, we're bled all the way up there because this is gonna probably go into a vacuum. So I wanna make sure that we didn't have any air in there. Now it's on circuit B, which is this back one. I'm gonna do this just in case. Technically, you probably don't need to. It would be nice if I opened that TXV and sucked it all out. I'll use the navigator to help drive open the EXV, and then I'll just push it in. It's a little questionable way of doing it, but I've never gotten these to work the way they're supposed to, far as being able to tell it to run the compressor. It just never seems to work. You know, we're gonna try to force most of this into the condenser. Oh, and you know what sucks is these contactors. Oh gosh, these things suck something fierce. These contactors are underneath this black cover. We'll get the metric Klein out here, because these doggone things are made in metric sizes. It's nice. It's supposed to stick to the plastic thing there. Evidently that didn't work so well. These things get washed quite a bit, so they're constantly getting submerged. One that holds in place, it'll get squeezed back down, then we're good to go. So there's your controller board. That's addressed. That allows you to pick which one it is. It's all digital communication. So what I'm gonna do, since I've got it valved open, I'm gonna wash my suction. We're gonna take it as low as I can get it, and then I'm gonna kill it. I think it's already sucked down quite a bit, but we'll see what happens here. This is not the safest thing in the world, but you gotta do something to get it done. We won't be able to get all of it, but we can at least try to get a majority of it. Okay, and then we want to do the discharge off, which I should have had that ready to go, but I didn't. My mistake. Like I said, we're gonna have to pull some of it out. All valved off. Pull them down there about 10 pounds. That ain't bad. Not bad at all. Now, one thing we probably need to do is get that discharge. Well, the discharge can't even remove it. So, because we are valved off there, but there's no plug here, you could go to that annunciator there. You go there and get that. I don't know if we're gonna get blasted or not. Okay, we got the extension cord stretched out. Need to get it hooked up to the machine here, and the Mr. 45 recovery machine, and the field piece scale, so we can see how much we got in it. We're gonna just pull that valve cord depressor on that. It's not just vapors, quite a bit of oil in that barrel. The thing that did make a difference is using the shortest hose possible. Recovery versus evacuation, there's a difference there as far as hoses making a big difference or not. I mean, we've got some monster 1/2-inch yellow jackets here. So I watched one of the Appion things. So you're supposed to squeeze that together a little bit, and that will allow it to grab the valve core properly. This is 410A, unfortunately, but it's a little cooler today. So that's not good. What the heck's going on with this thing? Throttle. What the crap, dude? My machine just take a total dump? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Hold it for a second. Down to 20. Oh, for God's sakes. Well, unfortunately, my field piece took a break. Literally took a break. It won't start. It's like it's stuck. And I've even bumped her a little bit. It's trying to, and then it says throttling. Throttle, it's stuck. I don't know what happened. I haven't really hammered it with any liquid or anything. She died. Great, just dropped one. There's the tiny little condenser coil. Yeah, that motor is not one to turn. $110 volts. Fan here, I'm trying to turn it. Don't feel like nothing's in there, but buddy, she does not want to turn. She does not want to turn. Okay, we figured out other ways to recover it. Chances are they didn't have it hot enough, whoever did it. Okay, I usually hit this with some flux just to help make it better. So the only reason why I do that is to help clean it up while we're doing our thing. So, oh yeah, otherwise you don't need it, but I like putting it on there just to help clean it up, because as it's getting hot, it just helps things flow better. If they are just slightly dirty, you didn't get everything. Let's go ahead and hit this thing with some heat and see what we can do with it. I did get me a new handle. I think I might have mentioned that, I don't remember. New 71 by Uniweld, which Uniweld didn't do any special favors for me, so I went ahead and just bought another one. Hopefully they got it all the way in there. They suck that in. Theoretically, that was probably the only spot it was leaking, but chances are it could be somewhere else possibly, so that's why we're gonna hit it all over. Bring the heat out here, and then we'll take her into the inside. You gotta be careful, you don't wanna get it too hot to the point where you start losing your coating on your copper there. That steel coming out, or usually, there's a transition point in there. Go. See that? We don't need to pull a vacuum. We stayed under pressure. We just got it down to a couple pounds of pressure. Refrigerant started boiling off, and then we are good to go. So he's able to make the repair, not have to do the vacuum and stuff, just so you know. It honestly, sometimes it's just easier working on bigger stuff than it is to work on this small, but we're probably gonna add a few pounds of refrigerant to this. This one I had done a repair on the leak. I did a leak repair not too horribly long ago. October of 25, today's March, end of March. I was thinking about coating that a little bit. Okay, this here, let's see if we can put a new Schrader core in this. Yeah, it's pretty bad, pretty bad. We're just gonna put a new Schrader core in there. There's the old one. So we'll go ahead and, I just like to purge. I don't think it matters, but that's the OCD in me. Fantastico. This is why I really like the Appion. They're just so easy to screw on and off. It's just the machining on this is so much better than a lot of them out there. It looks like there's some little burn on it. There you go. And then we'll do a little spray on it, try to do our best to keep it looking halfway decent. Got some tough coat, rust barrier. Is chance of that rusting out. This thing will short out before it actually rusts out. Gonna run a little bit, unfortunately. As I've noticed with these, when you take the pressure way down low, it'll get a pressure transducer failure because it should never be that low without obviously being screwed with. So we're gonna go ahead and reset that. Yes, see if the alarm goes away. Okay, we're gonna cycle and power off because we wanna make sure everything's out of test mode. Go ahead and open this back up. That EXV was manually put back to the way it was, which when you unhook from it, it will automatically go back as well. There we go. This full video that I did work on this, chicken poop killer, it's back up. I re-edited it, took out anything that was negative and released it. So if you want to see that video, click right here, up on the top, right up here, top right. I think that's where I'll put it at. If not, it'll be in the description, one or the other. So everything should be back together. Let's go ahead and get this situated here. Usually anytime you want to remove tape, you want to do it before the ink dries. That way it comes off and it looks halfway decent. Better than what it could have been. It's a farm. Try to do a good job, but at the same time, I'm not gonna register it for the county fair. Go. With a few things for stainless on here. These aren't corroded, surprisingly. Okay, so we should be good there on that. Did we open that up yet? No, we haven't. So let's open that back up. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and get this chucked up, ready to go. Add some refrigerant. Got this here back on enabled. Had an alarm, which I erased it, and looks like something came back, which is always a real wonderful thing to get. Makes you feel happy and fuzzy inside. Suction transducer issue. So let's go into pressures. And on B circuit, it says 10 PSI. It's because the EXV was drained down, so it must not like that. So let's go to test, and let's open that EXV for a quick second. We'll put it on test mode here for giggles. On, boom, EXV B. So let's go to test, and let's open that EXV for a quick second. We'll put it on test mode here for giggles. It's very selective when it decides to just listen. Okay, let's go to pressures and see if that's made a difference yet. Pressure, B. There, it did it, 60 PSI. So yeah, I did it right, just I must have gave it enough long time. I don't know why. This thing, you have your doubts with this machine. Reset alarm, yes, enter, boom, alarm's gone. Let's go back to test, make sure they're all off. Test, off. This is where you normally would kill it. That one's off. Go to enable. Now the load is pretty much about gone. They've already finished cracking eggs and all that. So let's go to temperatures. Entering's 30, leaving's 30. Set point's 26. So it may get a call for the go-go juice. Okay, we had the controls guru turn it on, but he just gave it a total call. So A is on, I don't need A. Let's go ahead and go into the settings here and let's lock out A so that maybe it runs B after that. There you go, you big main. You know what it was, it's pumping down. Pressures, and see what we got going on there with that. Right now we're 108 and 160. 112 there, which obviously we're at the top end of the gauge, which isn't going to be the most accurate thing in the world. I'm thinking we probably may have lost a couple pounds, nothing major. I mean, it was leaking on the discharge too, though. That's looking a lot better. All right, it just came on. Oh, what we got going on here? Are you freaking serious? Are you freaking serious? What the crap? Freaking, you gotta be kidding me. Freaking leaking. What the hell? You know how much crap I jammed into that stupid thing? Unbelievable, unflippin' Well, you do all that again. That sounds like a lot of fun after you put everything together. That sounds great. That is fabulous. Well, like I said, just got to do it all over again. Not what I wanted to do, but we're gonna have to do. I don't know how in the world that happened, because I mean, we got it really good and hot. We fed it in there really good, and maybe when I went back over top of it, I made it worse again, but it tells me it wasn't cleaned very well originally. So I should have never done that. And it looks like it's all okay, but I'll leave it there so you can zoom in, but I don't know. Not sure what to tell you on that one. You know what?
I could cut it out. You never would have known it. But my whole point is I'm not perfect, and I'm willing to show and make mistakes. I did that on my heat pump video when I worked on this residential thing, and people act like a bunch of idiots. Like, oh my God, he didn't even know how this board worked. It's like, yeah, jackass, I work on Carrier and freaking Train. I don't know your shitty ass freaking Goodman garbage. And it was actually Nordyne. That literally is one of my top, most popular videos, and people act like I accidentally put it up or something. It's like, I put it up on purpose. It's like, I don't know, some people just don't make sense. We're refluxed. Just had one of the guys I work with ask me if I've seen the flux trick before. That is kind of a NorCal Dave thing. I mean, granted, it makes sense. And I think I seen it there first, possibly. So we'll give old NorCal Dave 2 thumbs up. Dave, I learned a bunch of shit off Dave. I wonder if maybe there was some pressure on there or something too, though. Let's get it done. Set and dwell, or we can just get it done. Let it eat. Part of me wants to throw some silver in there, but a lot of times it's hard to go over top of it. Silver first, then this crap, you know, you're fine. This is like 6% cheap crap. It's what they've always used, and so I think this time we're not going to get stupid. We're just going to get that one part. It just does not want to stick to that piece of that flange. I can't help but think, did they by chance get it so hot that it won't absorb now because of it? I've had that happen before. Let's see if we can get something to go in there. Silver attracts to some crappy metals. Maybe I should have hit it with the 40% sooner. Don't look as pretty, I'll tell you that right now. Because now I'm like not even wanting to get stupid with it. Smooth it out a little bit. I mean, there's some nasty crap on there. It's kind of hard to get that off. Okay, I was able to clean that up quite a bit. I'm not going to tell you how I did it, but I did it. So I got some of that nasty crap off of there. It's just, you got to be really stupid careful, because I mean, you could throw something in your eyeball and that'd be like really bad. All right, let's see if we got a leak now. So listen to this. It came flying through there 100 mile an hour. I don't want to flood everything right off the bat. I just want enough pressure to look for a potential leak. That's the whole thing. You can't put a nitrogen on it. You'll contaminate the whole freaking system. So let's grab some soap and do it to it. All right, still a little bit warm. Nothing yet. I cool it all down a little bit. Say we probably got it. Like I said, I think what happened is I got really hot on the initial repair. And if you get that hot, too hot, I mean, this turns to copper and metal somewhere in there. And a lot of times I think they copper coat it and it's steel. But even on the outside there, it looks like it's copper. I don't know. At some point, I know I've done it before. I've overheated it and it didn't want to stick. And because silver will stick to metal and copper and brass and all these other wonderful things, that was probably the best combination. I didn't even really have to reflux it, which is kind of interesting, but all you could do is hit it with a wire brush, wipe away what you had. So a regular brush would have probably been best to do on that. I just leaned back way and let it fly. But yeah, I'm not gonna repaint that. It's good. For some reason, compressor number 2 here has a welded contactor. Not sure why, but according to that, it thinks it does. I pushed a contactor in on 3, but it shouldn't have affected number 2 unless they got things on the wrong freaking one, which wouldn't surprise me. It could happen, but that's a newer contactor. Not sure how it thinks it's welded. Really don't. I guess we can turn it off, back on. I turned off the whole system. I don't know if we can kill power to that particular circuit, if that would help. I've not really had too many of those. B2, my bad. There we go. Power should be off. That don't seem like I don't know. That feels kind of weird. There could be something weird going on there. Hell yeah, let's find out. There we go. It's always something. I mean, we were almost done, ready to pack it up. Got the torches on the truck, which is the number 1 never do thing, because every time you do, you have a freaking leak. And that's a good design. There you go. Yeah, let's make it so you can't pull it off. So, heck to the yes. Little modification there, a little modification there. We're nowhere near the actual touch points. So the power, like I said, is off. on that particular thing. Yeah, they look kind of crappy. They definitely look a little crappy, but they're not welded. We'll clean them up a little bit. Okay, I don't have any of these contactors in my truck. They're fairly expensive and usually would order that. So what I'm doing, I'll clean off my silver pads. I picked it up, moved it over. Now I'm gonna pick them up, move them back the other direction. This is not obviously the right thing. I mean, this ain't, I don't think so, I'll say it's right. Obviously it's not the ideal way of doing it, but you know, at this point, I need to try to eliminate whatever's caused it to make it mad. Get a little bit of arcing out of there. And I gotta get the actual pads on the other thing. The breaker is 100% turned off. I did not want to take any chances of anything terrific happening. And they're not horrible, but they definitely weren't looking great. So any arcing, all that crap, I'm kind of curious what caused it to think that. Because, like I said, I didn't screw with this circuit at all. And it's got the ability to go further down when it sucks out the electromagnetic switch. They're all back in there. It's all fantastic. Everything's in place. Okay, there you go. One last look. Things back to normal. Liquid's on. Compressor and loader, yes, yes, yes. They're unhooked. Cool, let's enable it. It finally came on, which we've got some decent pressure on it. Yeah, it'd be nice if they were all running, but pretty close to our set points. Let's look at temperatures, unit, entering, leaving. I think it's set for 26, so it's not got much time. And with only one compressor running, this is what sucks. If you can't just, these, I'm gonna guesstimate probably put 5 pounds in it or something, because I just worked on it a few months ago. It's not a huge leak, at least that originally. Does it happen to go full open to try to hit the superheat? Obvious with something like this, highly doubt we're gonna need it with just one freaking unit running. I'm gonna dump in, like I said, 5 pounds or whatever. This thing holds, I think 130. Circuit B, 135, 133. And I've already bled everything out. I need to zero this thing. There we go, let's go ahead and dump some in here. Okay, we're coming up on 5 pounds area. Let's go ahead and stop there. We can force the other compressors on. I want to see that middle one since we've messed around with that contactor. Make sure it's actually working. Yeah, EXV is down to 10% right now. I'll turn that one off and hopefully it'll switch to number 2. Just got to make sure we return all this back to the way it was. Okay, it just came on to the next compressor, that one. So we know that one's working. Not that any pressure is any bigger or higher when it's running, but at least it's vibrating. Okay, we know that's still fine. See if we can get the other one to run now. I'll make that one stop. The other one should eventually come on. Like I said, it's not calling super hard for stuff because, like I said, they've pretty much about shut down. There's very few things calling for any type of cooling right now. Okay. Okay, that one's pulled in and it is running. So that makes me feel more comfortable. Makes me feel more comfortable that everything's probably gonna be okay. So let's just go ahead and put everything back to normal. Let's turn them back on. So we can turn that one back to so it can run, turn that one back so it can run, go up to A, turn it so it can run, and 2 can run because there's only 2 compressors. Escape out of that stuff and she'll do what she wants to do. There we go. Well, that should get it. All right, so I went ahead and squirted a little bit of paint on that anyway and got that in there. No leaks. I'm gonna scan it with electronic for just as a precaution, but otherwise we've got everything good to go. So yeah, I really love the way it kind of like goes off. I mean, it's 0.1 decimal, which ain't traumatic, but you can tell there's stuff in the air. I mean, there's so many freaking leaks in this thing. I mean, I fixed as many as I can find. Okay, scan that cap over. Nothing on that, nothing on that, nothing on that. That's probably paint that's picking up. If it was leaking, it'd go right through that paint, no problem. Went ahead and turned it off so that it'd erase any test modes that might be. I've already scanned all this stuff over here, so it's good to go. This should be the last thing I gotta do. I got all the other caps on, so we should be good. Snug that back up and then hasta la vita. All right, that's gonna wrap everything up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, nobody's perfect, you make mistakes. and we got the leak fixed that we came here for and the Schrader core replaced, and we're good to go on that. I'm sure there'll be other leaks in other locations, but for right now, the ones we came here for are fixed and are completed correctly. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smack the like button, subscribe, get notifications turned on, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.